Sitting here with second year. First of all, I thought you were first year.
Yeah.
First year eligibility, right?
Yeah.
This is Josh Cumber, defensive back for McMaster Marauders. Thank you for sitting down with me.
Anytime.
And bringing the Yates.
Yeah.
So my first question is, why doesn't your dad like me?
Man, I'm gonna put that one on him. That wasn't your shit talking prowess. I think he just made the wrong decision of sitting in the western side at the Yates.
For those that don't know, when Zach and I went up to the Yates, we originally sat down in McMaster, decided to change sides to Western, and just so happened to sit behind your dad. And I do like to, vocalize my opinions throughout the game. And, he maybe took offense to some things I said. But, I hope there's no hard feelings between.
No, not at all. He liked the competition. He gets fired up. He's passionate. So, yeah, he'll take that any day.
Now, I do have to ask you, does trash talking run in your family? Are you a vocal guy in the field?
I mean, I'd love to. I grew up watching a lot like the Richard Sherman types, but I'm a 5'8", 160-pound corner, so I don't think there's anything I could say that's going to really intimidate a wide receiver across from me. So I just kind of let my play do the talk.
Now, going on the other side, are there any particular guys, and if you don't want to name names, are there any particular things that have been said from certain receivers that you stuck with you over this year?
Honestly, no. It seemed like throughout the whole season, no one really tried to get under my skin. It was sort of just silence the whole time, maybe a couple remarks here or there, but nothing really stuck with me. I try not to think about that kind of stuff.
I mean, maybe it's a short-term memory thing or, early onset CTE, but I was talking to a couple receivers, and they did say that you, maybe not anything bad, but you do like to talk throughout the game to them.
Yeah, I mean, at times,
football.
It is football. And I mean, when we're playing, I remember in the Toronto game, they're always looking to throw at Lovegrove or Will Corby, and I'm on the field side, so they threw to the Z probably one time throughout the game. So, I got to fill up time somehow.
The old, why aren't they tell your quarterback to throw?
Exactly, yeah. It's nothing bad. He was a good receiver. I'm just wondering why he's not getting the ball.
Just a little pat on the back, like, hey, go tell Clay, throw my side.
Yeah,
exactly. Play some football, not just run back and forth. Speaking of that, especially since U of T has such a great, air threat, but we'll talk about the whole league here. Is there any particular receiver that maybe gave you a little bit more of a challenge? I'm not saying that you lacked in any athletic ability, but, you're looking at film, you're saying, okay, I really have to prep for this one particular person.
I don't think it's a particular person. I think probably throughout the whole season, our Waterloo prep week was the best. Going into that, we're getting Gordon Lamb and Tyler Ternowski. They ran a deuce set on the field side. They would stack up close together, and that was sort of a nod to me that hey, okay, they're going to come at me in this game. They're both all Canadians. So I think that was the one week where I really focused on hey, these guys aren't to be taken lightly at all.
On the Waterloo note, how do you prep for that? Who do you have actually repping in on the scout team as your quarterback? Because you can't just have your backup quarterback.
Yeah, you can't really match Trey's athleticism. There's nothing bad I can say about him. We usually get Easy Mboku. He was a senior guy this year. He's probably our best athlete, best speed guy out there. So he would go sideline to sideline, just give us a look.
Yeah, Waterloo is definitely tough to prep with.
Yeah.
It is, there's big ups to you. You had the 3 picks early on. Was it 3 in 2 games?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened the rest of the season? And I don't mean that in an insulting way.
No.
For people that don't really know football, people that just look at the box scores, big start to the season and then absolutely nothing. Do you want to credit that to the fact that, one, obviously you guys have a great defense, the front seven, but also your secondary as well.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe quarterbacks are now very aware of who you are and maybe start to look the other way?
I think it's both of that. We all across our defense, we have playmakers. No matter what side of the field you throw at, what side of the ball you run at, you're gonna meet a really skilled football player. But I think it really came down to what position I play. It's the field corner. When it comes down to it, that's a lot of space a quarterback has to throw. So I feel like at the beginning of the season, it was okay, we see a really young guy, undersized, inexperienced, so it's let's test him at field corner. But once they say, okay, he sort of understands the position, we're not going to take those risks of those long throws just for a matchup.
Yeah, no. For those who don't know, CFL is a very, very large field.
Yeah, exactly.
And for the very short time that I sometimes had to play the wide out receiver on the field side, I knew I wasn't going to get the ball.
Exactly.
On certain routes. Before coming up here, I did see a small video. I think it was a 45-second video, kind of a get to know your player. And you talked about how much you had been watching McMaster throughout the years. You were saying that you
grew up watching the 2011 team, the 2012 team. I was at the 2014 Vanier, so I was brought up on really the success that Coach Potasic brought to the team, and just to be a part of it there's no words.
Was there ever another school you're even considering, or was it as soon as I hear Mac wants me, I'm going to go?
I mean, I wasn't heavily recruited. I wasn't really in a position to be, choosing schools, picking up a hat in a gym with my coaches watching me, nothing like that.
I think we're all kind of in that situation.
Exactly. So I had some light interest from Guelph. Actually, when Coach Galloway was there, a very light interest from Toronto, just practice squad, maybe a little bit of money type thing. But Mac, obviously, like I said, I was a huge fan of. So once I heard back, no matter what kind of money or guarantees they're going to give me, I wanted to be a Marauder.
For those listening, the money is scholarships and not being paid under the table.
Yeah.
Just to clarify.
Thank you.
Well, you're also in the room here with obviously two walk-ons. When I was in my first year, you're saying you're 5'8", 160?
Yeah.
Yeah, my first year I was 5'8", 132, if that makes you feel any
better. Brother, let's go.
Leaving Western, I think I was 5'11", 175, so a little bit of growth there.
So there's hope for me.
I mean, I definitely know that there's what it's like coming in and being an undersized skill position.
Yeah.
For me, looking at plays, I love it when flags are thrown for pass interference, just because, give us those free extra yards. For you, it's a little different. So what I got here is a couple plays, a lot of NFL plays we're just going to break down and let me know your thoughts if you actually think it's a real pass interference, or maybe, I know receivers are a little bit of divas, so maybe they're being a little bit divas. So the first one here, we'll obviously do the pitcher-in-pitcher, but we got the classic Rams and Saints.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that one?
I'd that's interference. I'll give that one to the Saints fans out there. But if Roby Coleman had been looking at the quarterback, I think that's a bit more questionable. But he was looking right at the receiver, no chance to play the ball.
I think that is a good note to all the young players. Get your head around.
Yeah.
You're not going to get called for pass interference.
Yeah.
He did get the flag on that one.
He did. He got the flag.
Everyone here, most of them, I say 90% of these, they got the flag.
Well, that wasn't interference.
No?
No chance. No. Yeah. I mean, once you slow it down in the NFL, I'm sure they've picked out 3 crazy things out of the rule book, but I mean, he's playing into the man. It's a jump ball. That's a tough play to make. I think that depends on the ref more than anything.
Yeah, and as you can see, just through I cut this up yesterday. I didn't do any of the slow mo stuff.
Right.
We're watching at the game speed that the refs are throwing.
Yeah. Okay.
Because if you do watch the film later, he puts his hand in his face, sign extra like that.
But okay. Yeah.
Flags need to be thrown at the actual game speed. So now we got the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, that's a flag, but that's a terrible ball. It's uncatchable. It's uncatchable.
Which, if it's uncatchable, shouldn't be a pass interference.
Exactly, but again, back to the first video, didn't get his head around. If he did, that's probably an interception.
All right. This next one we got Brady in a classic New England versus Buffalo.
Yeah, that's interference. I'll give you that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll give you that. Brandon Cooks is fast. He was just trying to get back in the hip, but didn't get it. Again, didn't get his head back.
The key here is getting your head back.
Exactly.
We got Oakland versus Dallas.
Not interference.
Playing the ball?
He's playing the ball. I mean, you could see a bit of the hand fighting, but I mean, the corner has every right to the area of the space as the Oakland receiver did. He fell down. I mean, he can't take the heat.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, God, man. Come on. Textbook.
Yeah.
Textbook.
So just since the camera angle is not going to show it, and this
Right.
is actually probably what sparked the argument between myself and your dad.
Yeah.
Why did Brett Ellerman fall down?
Okay.
Was it just tangled in the feet?
Yeah, 100%. It was that. It was definitely tangled up in the feet. I was in outside leverage on that. I believe we were in a cover 4, maybe a cover 3. So I was in outside leverage there, outside shoulder. Kevin Johns was staring right at him. he made his break on the post, and I know with Ellerman being 6'4", 6'5", if I'm an outside leverage, he's just gonna go up and get it. So what I was thinking at that point, I just had to get back in my inside leverage. I cut across his body, and our feet just got tangled up. I was lucky enough to stay up.
Just a little bit of incidental contact.
Yeah, 100%. Like I would admit it to you, but I was eyes on the ball the whole time, watching John's eyes the whole time. But
you maybe would understand why some people would think that's a pass interference.
Oh yeah,
if they see, and it's no shot at your size again, but 5'8" versus 6'6", the 6'6" guy is not expected to go down.
Exactly, yeah. But I mean, anyone from London's gonna say that, right?
Well, from Toronto, but no, I did. Yeah, I'll take But no, I just because I did trip you on that. Great interception. Obviously, great game.
Appreciate it.
And I appreciate you coming on, being such a good sport. I mean, no major trash talk, but being a good sport about all this.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
All right. We're good. Did you have any idea that I was going to throw
No. Yeah, they said, like, I was trying to get Justice because I knew Justice had been talking. And he's like, man, just stay ready.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right.